Hindustan Times Leadership Summit. Shahrukh Khan is supposed to be speaking. Let's go straight across there now.
Good afternoon. More than ever, I feel just now that I should make a movie very soon, before people forget that I'm actually a filmmaker, because I've been called Karan Thapar on so many occasions that I've decided that I have to make my film extremely soon, because people don't associate me with my movies anymore, and on some level that's very flattering, and on some it's extremely scary. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. This is my second year in a row at the summit, and it's a privilege and an honor, and thank you, Mrs. Bhatia, for having me again. Today, of course, I'm going to play the role of a journalist, something I've done on television, as you all know, and I'm going to be questioning Shahrukh on various topics. But before that, I believe Shahrukh is the biggest brand in India today, not only in the world of entertainment, but India as a country. I think he represents it in various aspects. And before we go any further, he's going to say something to you before I start my volley of questions. So Shahrukh, it's all yours.
Thank you, Thapar. Good afternoon, everyone. At the onset, let me tell you, this is the first time I've been to a gathering or a meeting which is called a summit. If not daunting, sounds very uphill, then I've heard and read some of the people who've spoken before me and are going to speak after me. Dr. Manmohan Singh, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, Sir Bob Geldof. Some names I can't pronounce, but I'm sure are very important people. But and I saw my picture on the net. And amongst all these people, and I couldn't figure out what distinguishes me that I'm included in this august company. And the only reason I could think of was that I'm the only one amongst all these people who wears makeup before going to work in the morning. So does Karan Thapar here, but and it's worse, he's a director, he should not wear makeup. But and then Shobna ji and Veer and all my friends, Poonam, Khalid Muhammad, they said, listen, you don't worry, don't be nervous. I am very nervous. Don't be nervous, just go there, don't say anything. He'll ask you questions, smile your dimple smile, and everything will be all right. Which is their way of saying, don't make a fool of yourself. But driving here, I read what this summit is about. It's imagine what India can be, or what it could be. And I thought, if it's about imagination, I'm in the field of imagination and work which is supposed to create dreams or still dreams, so I can imagine. I may not have any good solid foundations for this imagination, but I can imagine. And I imagine truly that India can be a global entertainment portal. As you would have noticed, I've used the word global and portal, so I'm intellectually quite advanced. There are two other words which I'm going to use in the course of this speech. I'm going to use the word synergy and the new one which really turns me on, 360 degrees. That one rocks. So I'm going to use all these words, so I'll impress you before I leave from here. But I truly imagine that India can be a global entertainment portal, because we have nearly 100-year-old entertainment industry. We have 1,000 different kind of musics. We have amazing amount of language. We have fantastic culture. We have technicians, technology, and now in the trend that is the growing India, amazing amount of entrepreneurs who are taking India forward, who are learning how to aggressively market the country and the product that it takes out. So we can be an entertainment portal. And I would like to also say why do I feel this, because, and I'm not deriding anyone here, but I do feel like this because I'm a little tired of going to the Cannes Film Festival. I'm a little bored going for the Oscar ceremonies. I'm a little bored if I'm invited to the Oscar ceremonies. To the Venice. I'm not deriding anyone. They're always very nice, patronizing, and wonderful people. They've always looked after me. But I'm a little tired now, and pulling at passerbys and telling me too, I make films. I'm from India. I make Indian films. And in different accents, everybody asks me, Indian films? And I say, Bollywood. Bollywood, yeah, that's nice. It's regressive, it's long, it's colorful, amusing. And I'm a little tired of that. I'm a little tired of talking about crossover. I'm a little tired of, I haven't been to a summit, but I'm a little tired of listening to globalization of Indian cinema. Because I think this whole idea of trying to make that crossover film which sells sadness and picturesquely shot in Rajasthan. I'm tired of doing that, to be really honest. How long are we going to sell the sadness of our country? I think the time has come that we start selling the happiness of our country, the celebration of my country, that is India. I think we need to tell people that you can come here instead of me going and clutching it in air and saying, okay, I want to tell you about my film industry. I think we need to create the infrastructure for the entertainment industry in my country. We need to create production houses. We need to create some nice studios which are not dusty and look ugly. I know a lot of you haven't been to studios maybe, but they're really awful. We need some fantastic post-production units, and why can't all of us, like we've done with the IT industry, create units which is calling people to come here and use it, like telecommunication, like even television. And I think that's what is my imagination. Like I said, I don't have loads of solutions for this. Some of them could be that I would ask great filmmakers like Karan Johar here. I would tell him that please write screenplay which fits in the format of the world. We don't need to be stubborn and say, no, our films are going to be 3 hours long. They will have an interval and we'll have 18 songs and we'll just go on and on and on. We'll make films which are 90 minutes long, and we can invite people to come and use our resources, human and otherwise, love the country, understand the celebration that is happening here, and then take our cinema to the world. I think that's what a solution would be. Or the easier one, I read one speech here, many of the speeches which say that every 6th person in the world is Indian. There is another solution to this. We can pass a law, if the government agrees, or the various governments agree. Right now we have lots of governments, pass a law that says that we should all make vigorous love from 12 in the noon till 4 in the morning. Produce so many Indians that not every 6th person is an Indian, every person is an Indian. That would take about 40-60 years. It would not be an imagination that will be fulfilled. My final imagination is I would like to have the Oscars in India. I would like it to be sponsored by Reliance or Aditya Birla Group. Sounds good. Should be held in the Ramlila grounds in Delhi. Yeah, it should be held perhaps in the Andheri Sports Complex in Mumbai. I imagine dancing at the Oscar ceremony, showing my abs to Dar De Disco. I imagine, okay, this is very personal. I imagine getting the Oscar award from Charlize Theron, even though she can't pronounce my name. And I think that imagination can come true. Like I said, I have no solutions, just a lot of imagination. I would like to get an Oscar by India, in India, for the world. And hopefully that will come through. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Karan.
All right. So then, should we just start our Q&A now?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Ask me again. And one more thing, please don't expect me to give intelligent answers. I'll just, I'm here for entertainment, Shobna told me, so I have to make a fool of myself.
I know, but you've sounded very intelligent. I
got the words right.
I was going to talk about sex, but you've spoken. Now we'll have to talk about sex, I suppose, with the way with the way you've gone about speaking about the entertainment industry. But thank you; those were wonderful thoughts. You said something interesting about filmmakers, wanting to kind of pursue the West in a certain sense. Though I personally believe when you attempt a crossover film and you cross, it's really over, because that's what invariably happens when you try and alter your format. You try and. But are you trying to say that we should kind of meet halfway in terms of control the length, go without the songs maybe, or just alter the themes, thematically change our content?
I think I truly believe this, that we have some really nice stories to tell. I think we have an amazing amount of culture to show. But how we have formatted small things like, when we go for a dinner in England or in America, we do wear the black suit and tie if we are asked to. So what I'm trying to say is, let's follow the dress code that is existing in the world, because that is the larger market at this point of time. And if we need to cut down the film length to 90 minutes, we'll keep the songs. I think songs are beautiful. But if we can format our films in a way that suits watching it internationally, even the storytelling, and to be very honest, we don't have any scientific screenplay writers in India. I think that needs to be developed, and it can be developed if we take help from the Western writers. They have converted this art form into a science. And I think if we are able to, they have films in acts Act 1 and Act 2. We have films in all kind of strange systems. I've never had an Act 1. We do everything. We sing, we dance, we cut the film somewhere. It's great fun, but I think it's not the format that the international community or the audience is looking for. So if we can change that format, keep our content, and halfway, yes. And I think the most important aspect is we have to tell the world that we are the largest filmmaking nation. Please come here and enjoy our facilities, but we don't have any facilities to offer. I think if we develop that, it would help us in a lot.
So what you're trying to say is never sacrifice the domestic, our domestic market, and just tweak it a bit so that we can cater to wider eyeballs.
No, not at all. I think the world is looking at a market, so we should not in any which way ignore our market. Our market is the biggest now, and it will become bigger. I think we have to look at us first, and then let the people, everyone from international filmmaking community is also coming here already to market their films. I think what we need to tell them is that we are also making films which are marketable abroad, and learn from them and take it further.
Alright, but as you said, so much focus on India. Now, what's happening in our entertainment industry is huge in terms of, we have corporate houses taking a huge interest in us. We have the foreign studios who are basing themselves in India now. There are co-productions, and, there's monies just being floating around, huge kind of monies. There's a huge rise in our business. And is all this a reality? Is it like the .com bubble that will burst, or is it here to stay?
No, I think money is good. I like money. Everyone likes money. But I think the idea is that it's kind of a sieving process which happened when people say the .com went bust. Finally, it is showing that the digital domain is here to stay. It has progressed. I think everyone knows that entertainment or telecommunication or all the words we hear that next thing will be telephone is going to be the big thing. Everyone knows all this is going to be the big thing in entertainment. Only thing is we need to figure out how. How is it going to be? I think the .com didn't bust, just we didn't know how to use it. Now we know how to use it, so it's there to stay. Similarly, I think right now with all the corporates and international finances coming into every aspect of Indian economy, including entertainment, I think it's like a sieving process. People who want to tell good stories in an organized fashion, and corporations are going to bring organization into the film industry. It already has a lot in the last 5 years. I think if we understand that organizational skill of the corporates, utilize the money nicely and properly, it will serve as a sieving process, and the guys who tell good stories, filmmakers, actors, actresses, producers, who want to tell good stories, they will remain. Now, some of them will get waylaid on the way. I think some of them will get sacrificed at the altar of just having a lot of money and not knowing what to do with it, which happens in all the businesses. But right now, I think it's a great process that if we can stick to wanting to tell good stories, the money will only help.
Yeah, well, money, speaking of money, there's recent alleged rumors about lead actors charging over 15 or 16 crores for a film. So if that's the case, then what is Shahrukh Khan worth?
I'm priceless.
Oh, okay.
No, when I say priceless, I don't have a price. I sell myself for everything else, for endorsements, for dancing, for marriages, birthday parties. The only thing I don't sell myself for is movies, because that's something I love. So I do that for free. So I've not, I really do. See, nobody would cast me looking at my acting if I didn't do it free. So I really do that for free, and I think I'd like to remain priceless that way. But it's okay if people are willing to give monies to the actors.
Is this fictitious? I mean, is it real? I mean, is this really happening? I mean,
nobody's offered me that much.
Oh, okay.
But if there is somebody else getting that money, I would say here, God bless them, but I hate them and I'm very jealous.
Oh, all right, okay. All right, speaking about in entertainment industry, it's linked very close to the world of media. I mean, there's so much talk about the way media is becoming so powerful. It's impressionable. It's making a huge difference to even our cinema. Also talk about it being an invasion to celebrity privacy. I mean, do you consider that an invasion, the fact that they've reached your bedroom almost? Do you believe that?
See, first, on a serious note, I think it's also quite nascent and new, this whole media thingy, because of the television stuff. I think it's just become there's a lot of jobs being offered. There are a lot of people who perhaps still don't know how the job is done, and they do try to get into your bedroom. It's up to actors and actresses to try and make sure the bedroom has high walls and no windows. I have high walls in my house and no windows. But I think it's just a phenomena because it's new right now. It'll settle down. But it also has become nice. I think a lot of things have become accountable. Some of them are exaggerated, like mine and Mr. Bachchan's rivalry. But a lot of it is, in a certain sense, also makes you accountable now. Whether it is in politics, whether it is in entertainment, and I think media does bring about a lot of accountability. And I say that because I'm part of the media. I'm also responsible for creating it. I enjoy it. I've used media to my, for my gains time and again, and I cannot complain that now they are used. No, I've never, I don't think anyone here who's been in the industry or in the business tries to, we talk about it, we all at roundtable conferences do turn around and say, okay, we're going to build this brand. But I think brands just get built by the most conventional, old-fashioned way, working hard and being honest to the consumer. So I think whether it's a physical brand or whether it's a brand, a human brand like me right now, I never worked in any special manner. I never work even now in a special manner to build on this brand. I'm doing exactly what I did 16 years ago when I joined the film industry, that I decided I'll work hard. I'll try and be unique in my positioning. I will try to offer to people what I'm being paid for, that is entertainment, at whatever cost. And I will try and be very, very honest in my dealings with the audience that I make films for. I will not at public places turn around and say, oh God, this film didn't do well because the stupid audience didn't understand. They understand everything. Consumer knows everything. If you don't think the consumer is the master, the brand is never going to stick. So I've done exactly what conventionally I think perhaps most of the greatest brands have been able to do. Sometimes you sit at meetings and decide this, sometimes it happens naturally. I didn't know this word till about 5-6 years ago, and I think I've just worked hard and been honest, that's all, and it's got built, and I don't do anything special to build on it further.
So holding on to it is difficult. Are there huge moments of insecurity almost every day?
Yeah, that's why I'm nice to you and all big directors. Please keep making films with me. Yeah, holding on, getting somewhere is easy. Holding on to it is very difficult. I tell everyone, my kids now, and I think even in relationships, getting married is easy, staying married is difficult. Forming an alliance is easy, sticking to that alliance is difficult. Partnerships are easy, but seeing it through is difficult. And similarly, attaining a position, the beauty of it all is I don't even know why I've attained this position as a movie star or an actor, and I don't know the reasoning for it, but I want to stick on to it, and because I don't know the reasons, I don't know what to do. So I just get up in the morning and wear makeup and try to do what I've been doing for the last 16 years. That's it.
So does anybody else, does anybody else bother you, their performance, their body of work, or you just you have a tunnel vision about your own career?
No, I'm very competitive, but my competition is very positive. I try to keep myself as the person that I'll compete with. And I've been lucky, I've been doing well, so I can keep on competing with myself. Like this year, I'd like to outdo my own film, Chak De, as a business proposal or as a business thingy. But besides that, I've never really bothered about... the one great thing about, I think a lot of people here would agree, I think brands work if you think positively, not negatively. I've never thought, I want to pull this person down or bring this brand down so I seem higher. What I keep doing is, every morning I wake up, I run with blinkers on like a horse. I don't look left, I don't look right, and I just keep running this race. And somewhere along the years, as they've gone by, I have started just running along with myself. I have stopped looking at anyone else who's in the blocks with me or in the lanes with me. I just keep running and I say, okay, this is my job. I have to get up and keep on running till I just completely fag out, get tired and stop one day. But I'm never really bothered about what I need to do with the next man or the next actor or next actress, what they're doing. I don't even watch films which don't star me.
I wish I could be like that. I'm always bothered about what other people are doing. I wish I could attain that level of... Also, being such a huge icon, are there things that you wouldn't do on celluloid? Are you socially conscious in that respect? Because whatever you do up there on the silver screen makes a huge impact. Like your Unfaithful Husband act clearly didn't go down very well with some sections of the country. I should be not asking you this question, but in any case, are there things that you wouldn't do on celluloid? Are there things that you think of before you take on?
I hope I don't say anything politically incorrect, but I think, when I hear there are going to be bans on showing someone drink alcohol or smoking on screen, I think that's narrow-minded. One doesn't need to do that because normally I do believe films do reflect a reality. You're playing a bad guy, you need to be bad. And the other day I was reading a newspaper article, I think in Hindustan Times only, where there was, I'd gone to see the T20 matches with my son in South Africa, and somebody said, Shahrukh in Chak De said, hockey mein cricket ki tarah chhakke nahi hote. Then why is he going to watch a cricket match? That's not right. I see a lot of things in my films. There are characters. The film before that I said, mujhe jangli billiyan bahut pasand hai, which does not mean that I don't love dogs. I mean, I do. And I'd like to tell Menaka ji, I love all animals. But you can't take things so seriously. It's a storytelling. There are a lot of things that should be allowed, but I have a personal point of view. When I'm doing a role, I try not to use bad language. I feel odd saying a lot of words like Maki and Bhenki and all, so I won't say it. I also feel I have kids. Before my kids I was a little more relaxed, but I'll be very honest, I didn't think about other people. But now that I have kids, I do think there are a lot of people around who have kids, and there are a lot of things I should not do in my films. But to be honest, whatever I do in my films, I stand by it even with my kids. And if I'm responsible to them, I think then I feel lighthearted and lightheaded that it's okay. My kids are okay with this, what I'm doing is right, and I'm all right with this, yeah. But yeah, a few things. I don't like to play very mean guys. I don't like dark films. I don't like, I'm sorry, a lot of people won't understand, but wide angle, faces looking ugly. I like films to be pleasant and nice and say some good thing in the end.
All right.
Ask me the next question. I don't know what else to say now.
Okay, no. Nor do I. I think we're going to open the questions to the house now. Thank you. Do you have any last thoughts before we open the questions out?
No, all right. I'm just very happy, and thank you, Shobhaji, for calling me here.
All right.
I'm feeling very intellectual now.
Okay. All right. So we hope you're going to get lots of that in the house. So we're going to open the questions out to the house. So anyone has a question for Mr. Shahrukh Khan? Yes.
Shahrukh, a very brilliant presentation. Congrats.
Thank you very much. How are you, sir?
Fine. India is becoming a good market for Western products in entertainment. Hollywood movies are getting translated into Hindi. And this trend would keep on going, which we know from various angles. But what is the matter of concern is that why the great versatile Indian actors are not being exposed in Hollywood movies. I saw one of your comments at some point of time that perhaps you or others big actors don't fit in their agent model which they normally encourage. We would like to see Hollywood taking on Indian actors. If they want to buy Indian markets, why not Indian actors? How it will happen and why it shouldn't happen?
I'm a little anti this, a little old-fashioned, sir, about this. I can tell you personally why I don't want to be. I've always, I'd like to rule in hell than serve in heaven. I'm very clear about that. I would like to, acting has no language, to be really honest. I truly, sincerely believe that I'll keep on acting in the language of my country, whichever it may be, Malayalam to Hindi. I think I have the potential to make cinema from my country, which the world will understand. I do not think that by acting in a Hollywood film, I'll become a better actor. I may get exposed to a larger market, and I'm not deriding. I mean, I can also be saying all this because I've never been offered a Hollywood film as yet. But to be really honest, I really feel that I am going to try and I've somehow become an important aspect of the film industry in the last 15 years. I would like to use that importance in a constructive way. That can I make my own Crouching Tiger? Can I make my own Life is Beautiful? Because none of these languages the rest of the world understood, but they understood the language of cinema. I think, and there are a lot of actors who are doing Hollywood films. Gulshan Grover is doing, Aishwarya Rai is doing. I've heard a lot of other actors participating. A lot of Indian directors from Hollywood are making films in India and casting a lot of us. I think it's a commendable thing. It's an experience. But beyond that, I don't think that's a prerequisite or a requirement for an actor or anyone from the Indian film industry to do so that we become a bigger film industry. I truly believe that. I could be a little wrong about this.
Anji. You wanted to ask me before.
करण साहब
जी
मैं अपना प्रश्न हिंदी में पूछना चाहूँगा
जी जी
दोनों लोगों से एक साथ। भारत को विश्व शक्ति बनाने में सब लोगों का अपने अपने तरीके से चिंतन है। मेरा भी पिछले 3 सालों से जब से देश का चुनाव आयोग चिंतित हुआ है, मैं भी जाग गया और मैंने देखा कि इस देश में वोट के बदले नेताओं को राजगद्दी, वोटर को क्या मिलता है, अर्थात उसको कुछ नहीं मिलता। यदि मीडिया जाग गया, हम सब लोग जाग गए, लेकिन करण और शाहरुख खान नहीं जागे। यदि आप लोग भी जाग जाएं और कोई ऐसी फिल्म बनाएं ताकि देश के 40% वोटर जो इस देश को चलाते हैं और वोट गिरने नहीं जाते, वो भी वोट गिरने जाने लगे, तो सिनेमा इंडस्ट्री का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण योगदान होगा इस देश को आगे बढ़ाने में। मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि आप भी इस पे एक फिल्म बनाएं ताकि चुनाव आयोग आगे बढ़े।
जी 100%। करण की अगली फिल्म का नाम है कुछ कुछ वोटता है। हम बना रहे हैं ये फिल्म।
सर मेरे सहयोग की यदि जरूरत पड़ेगी तो जो मैंने पिछले 3 सालों में इसमें मेहनत करी है, मैं आपको और करण साहब को पूरा सहयोग करूंगा ताकि पूरे वर्ल्ड में ये पिक्चर दिखेगी कि विश्व का सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक देश, उसमें वोटर को कितना अधिकार मिल गया।
आप सही फरमा रहे हैं। आप और बोलेंगे तो आप काजल के ऑपोजिट एक्टिंग भी कर रहे होंगे उस पिक्चर में। मेरी नौकरी चली जाएगी।
Sorry.
You can answer.
No, I am not.
What are your next
Have you seen my 4 films, Shahrukh? Do you think I'm capable of making a film on that thing?
No, I think what you have said is very essential. होना चाहिए ऐसा कि हम कोई भी तरह से कोई भी सोशल कॉज या कोई ऐसा महत्वपूर्ण वर्ड नहीं आता मुझे हिंदी में, ऐसे कोई महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ है जिसके बारे हम कह सकें, जैसे हम पोलियो के बारे में कहते हैं, हम एड्स के बारे में कहते हैं, और ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण पॉइंट है कि हम अगर वोटिंग के बारे में भी हमारी जनता को कह सकें, इतनी बड़ी डेमोक्रेटिक स्टेट है, तो बहुत बेहतर रहेगा। अगर कोई और भी बनाना चाहता है तो मैं उसमें काम करने के लिए राज़ी हूँ, और करण के पास भी जब वक्त होगा कॉफ़ी विद करण से, तो मैं उससे कहूँगा कि प्लीज़ मॉडरेटर बनने के अलावा भी आए और कुछ ऐसी फिल्में बनाए लोगों के लिए।
We'll move on to the next question. Thank you for your thoughts, Shahrukh. There's many hands.
How's the lady?
The lady. Yes, the lady. The lady. जो उन्होंने कहा वो मेरे views हैं. जी, yes, yes, ma'am.
I'd like to ask Shahrukh.
Oh, sorry.
Keeping the integrity of our Indian cultural heritage, our classical dances, music, and going towards the new developments in India, or the new India, the Chakti India as we are calling it. How do you balance that? Should we lose our heritage and copy the Shamak Dava styles or the Western styles of storytelling, forget our own theatres? That is the first question. The second one I'd like to ask, since we are in a summit of Imagine the India That Can Be, what is the India outside entertainment you would like to see your children growing up? Thank you.
I mean, outside entertainment, I'm a true believer. I think we already are, but I think I'd like it to be a more educated India. And I completely believe in that. I think there is no alternative to education. I would love my kids to grow up in a more educated India, and I would like them to also contribute towards the education of our country. So that's the second part. The first part, when we are, everyone who is talks about the classical nature of our music, our dances, talks about our culture and heritage, I think should understand that all of us are brought up in our own households in this country, somehow developing and having intrinsically that culture embedded in us. If there is a different way of promoting it, like my son sings like this now, he says yo. If it needs me to do yo to pass on my culture, I think there is nothing wrong in it. I think whether it is Shamak Dava, whether it is a new format of dancing that sometimes we adapt to or adopt, somewhere intrinsically we are promoting our culture, because the kind of cinema I have done, which is heavily commercial, which is supposedly blockbuster and totally for entertainment. Let me assure you that whenever we are doing some scenes or dances or songs, we may be taking on stuff from the West, but the reason is that the youngsters, we cannot deny now, are understanding and listening to that language also. And when it's an art form, it should be a little more free-flowing. We cannot just stick to what is our culture and somehow completely negate and deny the existence of other cultures and the mix with ours. I think the most beautiful aspect is that a lot of cultures can mix together, and we should let that be. Let it be free-flowing, not let just get stuck on one aspect and feel, okay, we'll only have the classical singing in this film. Because yes, commercially it does not work, let me be honest, it's sad but true. Somewhere we have to accept the fact that because it doesn't work, obviously the younger generation which is coming on is being brought up on different stuff, and we need to adapt ourselves to that.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I come from a state where we gave India its first. I come from a state which gave India its first film star chief minister. So I wanted to know if you have any intention at all of joining politics at any time.
To be really honest, I think I was having a discussion with some of my friends last night, and I was asking Rahul. I think it's amazingly commendable when young people can decide to join politics, because I think it's one of the most self-sacrificing kind of job. One, I'm too selfish, too material, too capitalist by nature to become a politician. Second, I'm too good looking to be a politician. Rahul is amazing looking, but I have a six-pack.
So no politics there, huh?
No, I'm in a certain sense, I'm very honest. I don't think I can sacrifice personal gains, and I'm very honest about this, I tell this to everyone, to genuinely, because I truly believe if you are in politics, most of the people, I think, are there to serve a social cause or to serve a larger cause than self-interest. And I apologize on behalf of the whole film industry that over years, and yesterday I got to know, over years we have caricatured politicians to be bad guys. I don't think that's true. I think especially the younger guys who are joining in politics, my other friend there, it's really commendable, and I think running a country, running a state, running a small kasbah requires a lot of selflessness, and I'm too business oriented really to be that selfless.
Yes, sir. The lady in the back one.
Hi Shahrukh, my question is, you are a leader of Bollywood. Now, if you were to lead a country for a day, what is that one thing that you would really like to do for the country?
I don't know, I have a strange thought. I want to make, I say this everywhere, public utilities and amenities for women all around the country. I think it's very important. I feel I have an immense amount of respect for women. I feel a little ashamed when I'm driving down smaller towns and villages and notice that we don't have enough amenities and areas where a woman can have some privacy. And I don't know, since childhood I wanted to do that. So I was reading one organization coming from the airport yesterday, Sulabh, which is doing this, and I think it's quite amazing. If I was a leader or if I was someone who could change something in this country, I think I would just do that, nothing larger than that.
Yes, sir. It's right behind you, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Pralay Bakshi. I'm from Fever 104. since you mentioned your six-pack, I'd like to ask you a question on that. Over the years, the Indian film industry has seen fitness levels, especially of the male and the female stars as well, but male stars change. You didn't need to be that fit earlier, but is there some sort of a pressure in the film industry that is sort of responsible for your new look or the new looks that we're seeing in the film industry now?
No, I think, the whole aspect of becoming health conscious is a nationwide phenomenon. It's not just with the film industry. I think it's a world phenomenon. It was there in the West. It's been adapted here, and a lot of people have been doing it, and I think it's a damn good thing. There's no pressure. In the new film that I'm doing, I'm trying to play a young 2007 hero. And I noticed that a lot of youngsters have a six-pack, and they are cool on Hayabusas, long hair, and say yo. So I'm trying to play it like that. So it's for a character. There's no pressure. I'm under no pressure to, and I don't think after working 15 years in the film industry, I'd be so foolish that to remove pressure of youngsters from my head, I'll develop a six-pack. If that's what your question is. Normally radio questions are like this only. But they want to know, so you're scared of the youngsters, are they going to dethrone you, you won't be king of Bollywood anymore. I say, shut up. Sorry, I'm not being rude to you. Yes. That's right.
Thank you.
Hello.
Sorry. Shahrukh, lately we have seen some marvelous films coming out of Hollywood, or Bollywood, sorry. Films like Chak De, films like Munna Bhai, films like Rang De Basanti. I just want to ask you a general question. Does a character that one plays, which influences people so much sometimes, also influence the artist?
Yes, it does. Sometimes the goodness of what you're trying to say through the medium rubs off on you. But it only happens if the film is a hit. If it's a flop, you don't like nobody from that film, including the character. So all the films that you mentioned have done very well. So we love Kabir Khan in it. But to be again honest, and being someone who's been trying to create characters given the set parameters of Indian commercial cinema, I do love the guys who didn't do well either, including the guy who cheated on his wife. But I don't know. Very sincerely, I think some of the actors, some of the directors and storytellers choose the kind of films they decide to make because inherently they think like that also. So when someone is making a Rang De or a Munna Bhai, I'm sure Raju or Rakesh or Shimit and Adi, they thought some goodness to be related to commerce, and that's why they've done it. So they've already thought that these are characters which should talk about good things. Post the film, sometimes it stays with you. Like I said, it always stays with me if it's done well. If it hasn't done well, I try to, sweep it under the carpet and not think about it. Yes.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Vidya Shankar Iyer from CNN IBN. I'm sure that all males in this country, 40 and above, certainly have a complex now because of your six-pack abs. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, Vidya.
And on what you said, I thought it was very interesting. Keep the content, but change the format in response to what India might do internationally. Do you think it will work, considering you want music and songs to be a part of the new format? Will we be able to tell a story at all if we keep all the song and dance routine as well? And secondly, do you think it's fair to the Indian audience to cut down on a 3-hour-long nice film to just 90 minutes?
I can rattle off names of a lot of 3-hour-long films which are not nice to the audience at all. I can rattle off names of some 90-minute films also which are not nice to the audience at all. But first I'll answer the first part, that is song and dance. See, every cinema in the world which has made an impact in the world, and this time we did also, has got a USP. I mean, when you talk about Hong Kong, Chinese and Eastern Oriental cinema, it has Kung Fu, a very clear USP. You talk about South American cinema, it has this whole underlying threatening underworld and drug mafia cartel and poverty. I think India also needs to have a USP, and the song and dance should be included in our cinema, because that is our USP, I think, and it would help narrate the stories, like the lady mentioned, talking about our culture, talking about what we intrinsically believe, whether it's classical or otherwise, done in a more fusion manner. I think song and dance has to be a part of our films. But yes, 90 minutes or 2 hours, I think even, now you see with multiplexes coming in, if you ask the youngsters, including a lot of your friends, I'm sure they say, jaldi jaldi ho gayi picture yaar, ye maza aaya. Good time pass. I think 2 hours is long enough. 3 hours with an interval and having to rush to urinals and stuff and smokes, and you don't need it. I think 2 hours is good enough. I read somewhere, I'm misquoting, I don't remember, that my letter is very long because I didn't have enough time to make it any shorter. And that really is true. The brevity is the soul of creation. Brevity is the soul of telling a story. And I think this value for money in Indian mentality, that ज़्यादा दे देंगे, एक extra अंडा दे दीजिए, एक सर इसके साथ ये free है. It doesn't add any value. I think value is the quality. And if we are able to get the quality concised or sankshipt in 2 hours, it will be a fantastic thing. I don't think it's going to be unfair to the Indian audience, as long as they are entertained in the 2 hours. See, I'm short and I'm entertaining. Yes.
I wanted to wait until almost the end, Shahrukh, before asking this, because I thought you might bring it up, but you haven't. You've spoken about bringing the Oscars to India. You've spoken about the fact that we can actually be the reference point. Do you know, just yesterday, not even 24 hours ago, an Indian has been associated with the Nobel Peace Prize. You haven't mentioned it. I'm not accusatory. I'm just saying, is this a kind of cliche, this whole hope of building brand India? Is this a perception issue? Is this that we don't consider, that we are not looking in imaginative ways at what India really is even today? Nobel Peace Prize for an Indian who led an extremely important United Nations Committee on Environment, and maybe global warming will be to an extent changed because of this prize. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. But are you saying that I'm talking about the Oscar and not talking about?
I'm saying actually that is our perception of brand India? It's not limited to the Oscars. I know you won't. It's not limited to the Oscars. But yesterday an Indian is associated. I could use the verb wins, but it said that Al Gore has won, and the IPCC has won. The IPCC is actually led by an Indian, and this is big deal. It's very big deal, and we're not making a big deal today. You're saying let's get the Oscars to India. I'm saying the Nobel Prize has come to India yesterday. And we don't mention it today.
No, I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nobel Prize has come to India.
How unfair. How unfair. It's a joke. I know it's a bit of a joke, but
no,
really, it's bigger than that.
It's not unfair. I think whatever the Indians achieve anywhere. I mean, I could rattle off all the achievements, Nobel Prize notwithstanding, and the other achievements that we've done, and say that the Oscar is one of them, and the Nobel Prize is the other, and the Madame Curie Award is the third one, and there are some amazing business awards which Indians have also won, and Amartya Sen has won, and it's really nice if you get awards. I like awards, to be really honest, and I think in a place where I should be talking about what imagination I can have for India. I think also, and I'm not, please do not think I'm belittling the importance of any award and the achievements of all the Indians, and there are so many of them, by not mentioning all of them. But I think just rattling off the achievements is not going to make me a better India or a better Indian. I think all of us sitting here today, including myself, you're right in saying I think we should all try and get the Nobel Award also, Nobel Prize also, in whatever field we are. I can get it for literature. I'm writing a book on Indian films. Really, I mean, it's a great achievement, and I'm sorry I didn't mention it. I apologize. And what was the gentleman's name? Pachuria. What's Pacharia? Okay, I know that. Yeah. I read my newspaper, Hindustan Times in the morning before I came.
Last two questions, please. I can't see anywhere. Yes, hello.
Since the other question was difficult, I'm going to ask you an easy one.
Yeah, please.
Do you really have the six-pack? I've heard that the photographs are morphed.
Oh, I have that.
It's a joke. Joke.
No, I have. I can show it to you. If it was a lady asking, I would have done it right now, right here. Your mustache gives you away, otherwise I would have shown it to you also.
Thank you. That was an easy enough question. Yes, please.
I think with the recent success of Chicago and Dreamgirls and Hairspray and High School Musical, with this essentially a Bollywood story, but it has good music and good storytelling, do you think there's one thing that Indian cinema can do to make itself more global on a broader scale, and do you think the mechanisms currently exist but they're just not being utilized? Because I saw Chak De in the theater. I don't understand Hindi, I don't speak Hindi, but it's a global story like The Mighty Ducks, so my 5-year-old and I were able to understand it. So I think there is crossover appeal for these Bollywood movies, but do you think there needs to be a mechanism put in place that someone in the West or someone in the US or in London, they can just go to a theater, see a movie without a subtitle and think, I can understand this story because it's a universal theme?
I think subtitling is necessary. I mean, that needs, some of the English films I see, I want the subtitles in them. And I understand a bit of English. Yeah, I mean, it just sort of helps. But I think the mechanism is going to be that we need to get people who would tell the world market. I go to England and I watch my films there sometimes, and I see films of Almodovar. I watch films from strange places where I don't really know cinema even exists, and very interesting films. But then I'm a film person, so I like to go and see different kind of films. But yes, if there is a mechanism put in place which is from our marketing end, or perhaps understanding. I think the first thing we should understand is the West has understood how to market goods. We still are in a nascent stage, a beginning stage. I think we need to understand how they are able to impress upon me that my cinema, about my history, which I know nothing about, I still go and enjoy it as much. So I think somewhere that marketing aspect needs to be put in place, and I think we should take cue and help from the West to do that. Besides that, like you said, I think cinema has a universal language. Like you said, Chak De, there are a lot of other films run there, which you don't really need to understand. As a matter of fact, most of the 50 films I've done, you don't really need to understand what I'm saying in it. They're quite senseless. But the idea is that if we are able to, yes, the first beginning would be to make sure our films are shorter. I'm a great advocate of that. I think the films need to be shorter. They need to be in the format of an hour and a half. We cannot impose upon an audience around the world our timings. Indian timings are the worst, and we cannot impose that upon the rest of the world. We need to tell them it's an hour and a half film. It's got song and dance like it is in Chak De. It's in the background. We have 4 or 5 songs in that film. I think we just need to educate the people about our industry, and that education would come if the Western filmmakers came, understood it, and took it abroad. Yeah.
Thank you. That'll be all. I think we're going to wind that up. Thank you very much for being such a wonderful audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
We have a few gifts to give to you, and I'd like to request Mr. Khalid Mohammed. All right, that was the King of Bollywood, Shahrukh Khan, there at the Hindustan Times Leadership Summit, talking about everything.